Ladies and gentlemen, life does not change in a single grand moment of transformation. It does not shift because you suddenly will it into something different. The reality of change is far less dramatic, far less noticeable in the moment. It is small, nearly invisible, and often so incremental that you do not even realize it's happening. Yet, it is these seemingly insignificant actions, the tiny adjustments in behavior, the daily discipline of showing up and doing just a little bit better than yesterday, that define the trajectory of a person's life. The mistake many people make is believing that success, progress, or personal transformation arrives in an instant. They envision a radical shift, a singular event that alters everything. But what they fail to see is that behind every so-called overnight success is a long, arduous journey of tiny disciplined efforts compounded over time. This is the essence of the 1% rule idea, that if you commit to improving just a little bit every single day, those small gains will accumulate, turning into something monumental. Imagine a person who decides to become healthier. If they attempt to overhaul their entire lifestyle overnight, throwing out every bad habit, forcing themselves into an extreme routine, they are likely to fail. Their willpower is not prepared for such a drastic shift. But if that same person commits to making a 1% improvement each day, choosing a healthier meal, walking a few extra steps, drinking a little more water over time, those small changes add up. They don't feel like much in the beginning, but weeks, months, years down the line, the person standing in front of the mirror is unrecognizable. The same principle applies to every area of life. Whether it's in your career, relationships, knowledge, or mental strength, the key is consistency, not perfection. A writer does not become great because they suddenly sit down and craft a masterpiece. They become great because they write every single day, improving their craft by small degrees. A business does not succeed because of one brilliant decision. It thrives because of countless small, wise choices made consistently over time. The challenge, of course, is that small changes do not provide immediate results. This is why so many people abandon them. They go to the gym for a week, see no visible change, and decide it's not working. They start reading books but don't feel significantly wiser after a few chapters, so they quit. They practice a skill but remain mediocre for too long, so they lose patience. What they fail to grasp is that meaningful progress is invisible in the early stages. It is slow, almost imperceptible, but over time it compounds. Consider the power of compound interest in finance. If you invest a small amount consistently over time, those investments grow exponentially due to compounding. The same is true for personal growth. The tiny habits you commit to today may seem insignificant, but over years they transform who you are. This is why discipline and patience are critical. The ability to endure the period of slow, almost unnoticeable progress is what separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. Most people fall into the trap of all or nothing thinking. They believe that if they cannot make drastic improvements immediately, there's no point in trying at all. But this mindset is a lie. The truth is, perfection is not required. Progress is. If you improve by just 1% today, and then again tomorrow, and again the next day, where will you be in a year? 5 years? 10? The answer is astonishing. Excellence is not built through grand gestures, but through tiny, seemingly trivial actions repeated consistently over time. Every great athlete, artist, thinker, or entrepreneur did not achieve mastery through a single event. They got there through a relentless commitment to small daily improvements. The pianist who practices scales for hours, the scientist who experiments and fails 1,000 times, the entrepreneur who refines their business strategy one decision at a time. These are the people who understand the power of compounding effort. And yet, many people never realize their potential because they refuse to start small. They want the results immediately. They want the rewards without the process. But this is not how reality works. The mountain is not climbed in a single leap. It is conquered step by step. And the most dangerous belief you can hold is that because you cannot do something perfectly, you should not do it at all. There will be days when motivation fails you, when you do not feel like making the effort, when the progress seems so small that it feels meaningless. This is where discipline must take over. You do not need to feel like it. You do not need to be inspired. You simply need to do what needs to be done. The small daily actions, even when they feel insignificant, are what forge an extraordinary life. The question then is not whether you are capable of success. The question is whether you are willing to commit to the process of incremental improvement, whether you are willing to trade quick fixes and unrealistic expectations for patience, persistence, and discipline, whether you can endure the slow, unglamorous road of small daily progress instead of chasing the illusion of overnight success. Most people will not. They will remain stuck in a cycle of inconsistency, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect motivation, the perfect plan. And because that moment never comes, they will stay exactly where they are. But for those who understand the power of the 1% rule, for those who embrace small, consistent efforts, the rewards are inevitable. Every decision you make today is a vote for the person you will become. Every habit you reinforce is a step towards success or stagnation. The choice is always yours. But know this: if you commit to even the smallest improvement today, and then again tomorrow, and again the next day, one day you will look back and realize that the small, invisible steps you took led to something extraordinary. Your future is not determined by a single moment of inspiration. It is built by what you choose to do day after day in the smallest of ways. And those small ways compounded over time will change everything. And so the question is simple yet profound. Will you choose the path of slow, steady improvement, or will you remain stagnant, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes? The truth is, your life is shaped by the small choices you make every single day. No one achieves greatness overnight, and no one transforms their life in an instant. But those who commit to just 1% improvement each day, who take action despite the lack of immediate rewards, are the ones who wake up years later to a reality they once only dreamed of. It won't be easy. There will be days when the effort feels pointless, when progress is invisible, when you are tempted to quit. But understand this: every small step you take in the right direction matters. Every choice to show up, to do the work, to be a little better than yesterday's choices compound, creating a future far beyond what you can currently imagine. So make the decision now, commit to the process, let go of the need for perfection, and embrace the power of small, consistent action. Because if you do, one day you will look back in awe at how far you've come, not because of a single dramatic change, but because of the relentless discipline to improve, little by little, every single day.